Hi Stampers, this is Kim at Great Inspirations, and today I want to share with you a way to make an interesting background like I've made here on this little card. This card happens to use the Kangaroo and Company stamp set and dies, and that is new in the mini catalog this year, the January through June 2021 mini. A lot of cute little images, and for my card today it's for a baby, to welcome a little baby. My niece delivered a little baby boy yesterday, and his name is Miles, so this little card will be going to Miles. The way I created this background, I used a new product in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, and it's the blending brushes. And these brushes blend ink just marvelously. They're very, very soft. And you get a package of 3, and I believe they're $12. And as you can see, I've been putting mine to good use. People have asked me, do you need one for every color? I say that is your own personal preference. I'm not going to have one for every color. For this one, I've used the lighter blues and lavenders and even Rococo Rose. And after I've inked it up and put the ink on the paper and I'm finished with it, I just take a cloth. I usually use microcloth, but microfiber. But I don't know what I did with mine. So it might be in the laundry. But, and I just rub it. And I have used this towel as well. It's just a terry towel, just to get any excess ink removed. And this one I have used with, I believe, gray granite and I think basic gray. And then this one I've used with some of the browns and also with terracotta tile. So I'm going to show you how I made this background, and what I used were the basic pattern decorative mask. There's the polka dots that I used for this card. There's a package of 4 of them. They're in the annual catalog, and they are on page 146. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Yeah, here we go. They're right here. Number 4, the decorative mask. There are 4 of them, and they're $6. Now, I have used these in the past with not blending brushes, with embossing paste. But today I thought we would use them with some ink. And that's a leaf pattern. And then there is a, I call this, oops, we're getting caught on one another here, a damask pattern. And then there's also this one, it's trees, winter trees. And I made a card using each of these masks, so I will show you at the end of the video. The one we'll concentrate on right now are these little dots. And I'll show you how I used the blending brush with the mask. Now, granted, you could use sponges. That would work as well. I just like the way that you can really control the amount of ink that goes on the paper better, because you can make it darker, lighter. I just find these are easier for me to use than sponges or sponge daubers, although don't get me wrong, I love my sponge daubers and my sponges. So today I thought we would use, let me get my ink pad, some just jade, and we will make the polka dot background for another card I want to make. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this down and just kind of keep adhesive off of this, and I'm going to use an adhesive that Stampin' Up! Does not sell. It's a temporary adhesive, removable, and it is made by combo. And I'm just going to put a little bit of it on the back of this, then place this on the silicone craft sheet. And then we're going to put our mask right over the top of that. I've got my cardstock a little crooked, but that's okay. We can move this mask around a bit. And when I get it about where I want it, I'm going to use some washi tape. And this, I don't even know where I got it. It's been so long ago. It's probably the Dollar General or something. And I'm going to just tape down that mask. You can put as much or as little as you want. I'm going to just kind of put a little here at the bottom and a little at the top to really make sure that mask is held in place. And then we have our ink. And as you can see, I've used the Just Jade on this blending brush. This one I'll probably use for the medium greens and medium blues. And I'm just going to rub this on here a little bit. I'm not really sure how much ink is on there. I'm sure there's more than what there will be. So what I do sometimes, for this it's not as imperative, but what I would do is rub a little of it off on the scrap paper. And then what you do, I'm going to start in a corner and you just move it along. You don't have to press very hard. And as a matter of fact, you might want to go lightly at first. You can always put more color on. A little bit more difficult to take it off. Do a little on this side. Do a little more on this side. Get a little darker up here at the top. Or maybe it'll be the bottom on the card. I don't know yet. Just have to see. And this, like all backgrounds that you make, you can always trim it down. There, that's a little dark. Now we'll go a little lighter. And you can control it just by the amount of pressure you put on the brush. And I think down here, I want that to be a little on the dark side too. And maybe along the sides. And just go over these. And there we go. Let's see what we have. There you go. There's a background. As you can see, it's a little lighter in the center, a little darker on the spots. And that's just how easy that is to make, excuse me, an interesting background using your ink, the mask, and the blending brushes. So let's put all this stuff out of the way and I'll show you the other cards I've made. Okay, just pull that right up. Here's the card I made using the little leaf pattern and Just Jade. This happy birthday is from a set called, let me see, what is it? 4 Season Floral. And if you haven't heard of that set, you may have not looked at the beginner brochure, as we call it. It's called Make Beautiful Things. And in the Stampin' Up! Online store, you will find these products as well. And these products, some of them are in the annual catalog, some of them are exclusive to this brochure. But it's for beginner stampers who maybe a full catalog would be a little overwhelming. And it gives you, as you can see, a lot of good ideas, and not just for beginner stampers, but for any level of stamping. But here's the set, the 4 Season Floral, and here's the happy birthday that I used. And again, it was just the same process. I put my cardstock under the mask and just went over it with the blending brush, and that was the result. Now for, I call this a damask pattern. Some people may call it a Baroque pattern, but either way, I used it to create this card. And I used the Hydrangea Haven stamp set for the hydrangea. And again, the happy birthday comes from that four season floral stamp set. And for this one, I used 3 colors. I used the Balmy Blue, the Highland Heather, and the Rococo Rose. And you can see where in some places the colors are blended to kind of give it a nice flow. So, last but not least, here's the card I made using, let me show you this, the bare trees, the winter trees. And I have to confess, I used the basic gray with the blending brushes, and I just looked at that and I thought, ugh. So then I got out my other blending brush that I had used with the Balmy Blue, and I just went right over it with the Balmy Blue. And as you can see, it didn't really affect the gray at all. So then I had a sky and the trees, and I thought, oh, now what? And actually yesterday I just walked away from it because I thought, no, I don't like this. But then today, set it aside, come back later. I looked at it today. I thought, I know what we need. We need some snow. So I got out my Stampin' Chalk marker, and as you can see, I just went along places on the branches where snow might build up and put a little snow. And then after that, I went over it with the Wink of Stella, so there is quite the shine to it. And I'm not really sure if this will show up on camera, but when I finished that, I took the chalk marker and just made little dots of snow. And I don't think it's going to show. Well, maybe a little right there. And then I went over those little dots with the Wink of Stella. So actually, I kind of like it now. And I've, of course, matted this on some Balmy Blue and then on a black card base. This Enjoy the Moment comes from the Enjoy the Moment stamp set. And again, I just stamped it on the basic white cardstock, went over it, with the, let's see, what did I use? No, that's the Memento Tuxedo Black. Just went over it with a little bit of the Balmy Blue, matted it on a little piece of black cardstock, and I really liked it. And then on the inside, Good Things Are Worth Waiting For. Again, the Memento Black, and I just took the blending brush and lightly went over the greeting. So there's that card. And then, of course, Miles's card. And there, and I made all those backgrounds using those masks. The basic pattern decorative mask and the blending brushes. For more information about this process and to see more photos, you can see my blog. That link will be right below this video. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please contact me. Until next time, stamp happy.